Do you have a fridge full of shriveled vegetables, or are you throwing out food before you can eat them? I'm Jo, and the simple tips I'm going to show you today can save you up to $50 a week on food just by organising your fridge. So, come and check mine out. A fridge is a tool designed to keep food fresher for longer. It works best when it's 3/4 full, and when storing food, it's important to ask yourself 3 questions. Firstly, will it spill or leak? Second, is it the right temperature? And thirdly, can I find it when I need it? So here's some simple tips on what to store where. The top shelf is easy for you to see, so store leftovers and items that need to be used first. Planning your meal from here is a great way to make sure you use the items that will go to waste first.
The middle shelf of your fridge is great for things like eggs and dairy. The temperature stays fairly consistent, and it's a great place to put items that you'll use pretty regularly.
The fridge door is best for condiments, butter, drinks, and frequently used items. The bottom shelf is for meat and other items that need a cold place, and storing them here on a tray means they're less likely to drip or spill on something else. The crisper drawers are where you store fruit and vegetables. Now you know the best place for all these things, the next thing to consider is to store food based on what it needs. Food is impacted by moisture, temperature, and light. Fruit and vegetables in particular behave differently, and they don't like being stored together in your crisper drawers. Vegetables are best kept in a crisper drawer covered or with the vents closed. This will help lock in moisture, which will keep your vegetables fresher for longer. If you find your veggies are getting soggy or mouldy, then it's a sign that they're too wet. But if they're drying out and look a bit sad and shriveled up, then it might be a sign they're too dry. Both of these situations are avoidable, and a good way to moderate the amount of moisture that you have is by using a towel or covering your vegetables. This will stop them drying out, but will also keep some of the moisture in as well. The other thing that you can do is bring sad-looking vegetables back with a water bath. Vegetables like parsnips, carrots, and green beans love to be immersed in a bit of water with a lid on, and they will crisp up like they are fresh again. You might also find that wrapping green leafy vegetables and herbs will keep them from either drying out or going mouldy. And I like to cover everything with my tea towel before I pop it back in the fridge. Fruit that needs to ripen can stay at room temperature on your bench. I like to have a fruit bowl with things like bananas, pears, and even tomatoes. They just taste better when they haven't been refrigerated. But if you've got fruit that needs to go in the fridge, they work best in environments with the vents open or in the open air of your fridge. So don't worry about covering them up, they like to breathe. There's one exception when it comes to fruits, and that's berries. They love nice humid environments, so they work really well in containers with the lids closed, as long as you have a little cloth at the bottom that can help absorb the extra moisture. No one wants soggy strawberries or blueberries, but berries that have been washed and placed in a jar like this can stay nice and fresh for 1 to 2 weeks. Our next tip is to freeze what you can't use. Once you've made a meal from the foods you have in your fridge, you can always freeze items that are due to expire or that you have in bulk. The freezer is a great place to store items that you won't use immediately. Many items can be frozen, including things like bread, leftovers, cooked rice, cooked pasta, dairy items, and sauces. You can even portion items into smaller amounts so it's easier to defrost. Just remember, it's as simple as putting food in the right place, giving food what it needs, and freezing what you can't use. Simple tips like this can make a huge difference.